Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a killer at large.
This guy murdered our girls.
The chilling photos from the victim's cell phone.
This is likely the killer.
Absolutely.
What is in the pocket here?
The shocking audio recording.
Did anybody in town see this person?
Somebody knows who that person is.
Was there any indication that there was a predator among you? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Today, we're investigating a mysterious case of two young girls who vanished without a trace. 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abby Williams were reported missing on February 13, 2017, when they did not return from a walk on a popular trail in their hometown of Delphi, Indiana. The best friends did everything together, and they died by each other's sides. Their bodies were found one day after they went missing. Now, almost 10 months later, their killer is still at large. And the key to this case may be in Liberty's heroic final actions. In the moments before she and her best friend disappeared, Liberty used her cell phone to take a photo of the man who appeared to be following them. She also recorded a gravelly voice ordering the girls, quote, down the hill. Did Liberty capture both the image and the voice of her killer? Take a look.
Abigail Williams and Liberty German disappeared on a popular hiking trail near their homes in Indiana.
Their bodies found in the woods east of Delphi the next day on Valentine's Day.
It's just all we can do is pray and just support them and help them through it.
It's the haunting final image of a 13-year-old girl on a hiking trip just before she was murdered. Her friend who took the photo and posted it to Snapchat was also slain. Liberty took another haunting photo, this lonely trail ahead. She could not have imagined a killer was lurking nearby.
I've been at it for 30 years. I've never seen this in my career.
It's so hard.
Words don't come easy right now, but tears do, especially when these sisters think about Libby. The girls all on the middle school swim team together.
The girls were my girls' ages, and I can't even put myself in their shoes.
Police released a picture of the man believed to be the killer, taken on Libby's cell phone the day the girls disappeared, and this audio believed to be the killer's voice.
We have a murderer walking around. He took two innocent lives well before their time.
Well, Liberty and Abby's families are here today. Now, the case has dozens of fascinating clues that have sparked the entire country to float theories about who could have murdered these two beautiful and innocent young girls. But their parents are left struggling to make sense of the messages the girls may have left behind.
My sister Libby and Abby were always together.
They played volleyball together.
They've never really gotten in any fights.
They were both in band. They both played the alto sax.
They liked going out and playing softball.
They were super close. One of our bumper stickers says best friends who earn their wings together. They were very, very good friends.
Abby spent the night with us on the night of the 12th because the girls were out of school.
We had a movie night and ate pizza. The next day, Libby asked if I would take them to High Bridge.
The Monon Bridge is an abandoned railroad bridge. It's just a local historical point.
When I dropped them off, it was just like any other time I dropped them off to go to the trails. I just said goodbye and told Libby I loved her and that I'd see her when I got home.
Her dad called Libby at 3:11 to tell them he was getting close to the pickup point. And she didn't answer. He got there and he called him again and she did not answer, so he walked down towards the bridge looking for them. By 3:30 he called me and said, Libby's not answering, could you guys try getting a hold of her? I called Mike at work and said, we have a problem, and he said, I'll meet you there.
When I heard that they were missing, I just figured Libby had lost track of time and her phone died.
I had a couple of missed calls. It was Becky saying that we need to go to the sheriff's department.
Everybody was pitching in, fire department, the local police, the sheriff. People were walking around the trails.
The sheriff asked to see if the girls had posted anything recently. That was when the first photo came up, stating that they had been at the bridge, and the photo was taken about 2:07. At midnight, the police did call the search off for the evening.
We started searching again in the early morning.
It was a whole array of folks, friends, family, everybody.
Sometime around noon, we found the girls.
We heard them yell up the hill that they'd found them. One of my family members fall to the ground, and he was crying. I didn't know what to think.
I kept asking them to let me go there. They wouldn't let me.
The pastor came and found me. He said they found the girls, and they didn't make it.
Well, as I said earlier, Liberty recorded chilling images and audio on her cell phone of a man ordering the girls down the hill.
Libby did get a video of the guy secretly. You could hear him telling the girls to go down the hill.
We assume he's referring to at the end of the trail.
We have listened to it over and over and over. If we were to hear it, I'm sure we would know it.
When I hear the voice, I try to remember the people I've seen or the people that I've heard talk to me and try to figure out if I've ever heard it before.
It's been the 10-month mark, and we still have not located the person who did this.
We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything that we aren't looking for this guy.
We have a hole in our family now.
There are days that I would just rather not be here. Have it go away.
Losing Libby has been devastating.
I carry her book bag to school. I think Libby's with me every day.
My fear is that we could be here 10 years from now and we won't know what happened or why.
I miss having my secret keeper and my best friend.
Well, I'm so glad to meet y'all. And like so many people in the interviews and tapes have been said, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's not the natural order of things for us to bury our children. How are you dealing with this day to day?
We take it day by day. We are doing everything that we can to help the law enforcement. We aren't the type of people to just sit around, so we have tried to spread the word. We send flyers to people. Our goal right now is to get his face out there everywhere, in every town, that he can't go into a single town that his face isn't staring at him.
How do you deal with this at this point?
Well, every morning I wake up, I walk down the hallway, and there's a picture of Libby. And I say good morning to her. And that gives me the motivation to stay on task here, to go out and catch this guy. Because I truly believe, Doctor, that somebody out there knows this guy. Somebody knows something. Nobody lives in total isolation in today's world.
Right.
And I'm asking that person, please, help us out. So staying focused on trying to catch this guy is one of the things that helps keep me going.
Of course. And how about you? What do you say to yourself about this every day? I mean, this is every parent's worst nightmare, obviously.
There are days that we get up and I think about what I've got going for the day, but the last thing sometimes is that this is all real. Her bedroom's right next to mine. And I think about the fact that she's not right behind that door. And even standing here and waiting and seeing these photos and listening to our story again every day, it's brand new and it hurts just as bad as the day it happened.
When you see that last Snapchat photo of Abby, what goes through your mind?
She's grounded. That bridge is so high. And I remember somebody asked me, well, was it possible they were meeting somebody? Her hair's done up nice. I'm like, her hair is the messiest bun. She's wearing my old shirt, ratty blue jeans. She is not dressed nice at all. And Libby's sweatshirt, I believe, that wasn't even hers. It's a hard fact that knowing that's it.
How did this happen? Was there any indication that there was a predator among you, that there was anybody of suspicion in your community? This is not a big town here.
No, our town has 3,000 people. We're definitely a small, rural, Midwest town. No, we have no clue if there was somebody walking among us. And the thing of it is like the girls weren't really out there by themselves. There were other kids out there. It was a fluke. It was February 13th, and it was 60 degrees out. You know, so there were many kids out there throughout the day.
Right.
We've talked to many of them. So it just so happened that they were in a little lull, and this happened.
So this happened. What is this? How did this unfold on this day? What actually took place? What were the sequence of events? We're going to talk about that when we come back, and we're going to hear the chilling voice that Liberty recorded on her phone of a man ordering her down the hill. Could that be the voice of the killer? Plus Liberty's sister, Kelsey, who dropped the girls off at the trail, is going to talk to us as well. We'll be right back. Some people say that they can see a man standing right here. Do you believe that there is someone there? And later, here's the audio Libby captured that may have been him ordering them down the hill.
Down the hill. Down the hill.
Something else put them in a position of vulnerability.
This is Libby's room. Everything has been left just the way that she left it. She had just painted her room. I didn't have time to help her, and she said I could do it, and she did. There's still the paint can from painting, her stocking from Christmas last year, still laying right where it was. This is a statue that Kelsey got her for Christmas one year. It's a sister statue. Those are her paintings. That's what her and Abby did. Abby would come over and bring all of her paints. This one they had started that night. This was what they didn't get very much done, so you can tell they were horsing around a lot, and they both love chocolate. This room will stay this way for as long as we're here, probably. Because this is Libby's room, always will be.
14-year-old Liberty German and her best friend, 13-year-old Abby Williams, decided to go hiking at the trails that wrap through a park near their home in Delphi, Indiana.
This is the access point to the trails. That is where the girls were dropped off. This is one of the last paths that the girls walked. We're on the Monon High Bridge. This is where the girls came out to take pictures that afternoon. The person who's responsible for this walked out here and caught them isolated on the bridge, did what he did, murdered our girls. And this is memorial items that people from our community and around the state to just show their support. I spent a couple of weeks out here shortly after just scanning the woods and creek banks and looking for clues, items, anything I could find that would possibly help catch this guy.
Okay, I've found that specifics do help trigger people's memories sometimes. So if we could just run through this quickly, but in some detail. It's 1 o'clock on the 13th of February. And your sister Kelsey, right? Mm-hmm. You dropped them off at the trail.
I dropped them off around 1:30.
About 1:30. You dropped them off at the trail. Anything unusual when you dropped them off?
No, it was just like any other time I would have dropped them off.
Mm-hmm. They say anything that sticks out in your mind at all?
It was just a normal day. I just said goodbye, and then I loved them, and I'd see them when I got home.
Okay. All right. And they didn't say anything unusual? You didn't, in looking back, nothing sticks out to you at all?
No, looking back on it, it was just a normal day.
Just a routine day. Okay, then at 2:07 p.m., which would be, 37 minutes later, Libby posts 2 Snapchat photos from the bridge. In one photo, Abby walks along the bridge, and she's the only person in sight. That's this photo. Some people say that they can see a man standing behind this tree right here, this image coming out right here. Do you believe that there is someone there?
I see the picture of what people think could be, but knowing the area like I do, that's a pretty steep cliff area right there.
Yeah, there's nothing to stand on there, is there?
No, it's sheer drop. And in fact, if you can kind of see off to the right there, you can see that that is truly a rock face shale that just drops straight down to the creek. And that tree is one of the last things that hasn't fell down that edge yet when it goes to give way.
Okay.
So standing there would be a pretty difficult task. I'm not going to say it didn't happen because I wasn't there that day.
Right.
That's
Okay.
the same thing as at the very end of that same train bridge, there is a post that keeps people from driving a vehicle. People all of a sudden say, well, there's somebody right back there. There are at least 2 points, if not more, that people swear they've seen people. And that's really hard, because then the more people looked at it, the more footage that was done from the bridge, we saw that there was nobody standing there. This is just the posts that keep people from driving on it with a vehicle.
Right. Then there's another picture that Liberty took, and this is it. And it's your theory that this is likely the killer?
Absolutely.
Witnesses saw a man there at the time.
That is correct. This person who saw a person that looked like this leaving that area around that time that day.
And later,
somebody knows who this person is that caused such evil in a wonderful place.
You've been non-specific about how the actual crime was committed. You do know how it occurred, correct?
We do.
Our granddaughter, Libby, was flat out killed.
My daughter, Abby, and her friend, Libby, were found murdered.
For what? No clue. 2 innocent girls walking on the trails, laughing, giggling, taking pictures.
The girls stuck together right up to the end.
Every child is the light of your life, and you can't ever imagine losing any one of them.
It's your theory that this is likely the killer.
Absolutely.
Have they been able to high-res this picture and get a better image of the face and all than what we have here?
This is as good as it gets. When I say that they've said, the FBI has said, we've had a lot of people working, NASA, Disney, you name it, we've worked on it, we've tried. This is the best we can do, because everybody assumes that we can. And
okay, and I guess based on this and on witnesses, they came up with a sketch.
that is correct.
And this is the sketch, and this does, maybe it's just suggestibility or whatever, but it does look like the picture.
Yes.
But this is based on witnesses saying what they saw of a man there at the time, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that was from an eyewitness person who saw a person that looked like this leaving that area around that time that day.
Okay, and then at 4 o'clock, you went to the trails, right?
My son, who was picking Libby up, called me and said she's not answering the phone. And that was at 3:30, so my daughter and I both kept calling and messaging and texting Libby, and there was no answer. So it was just about 4 o'clock, I called my husband at work and said, Libby's not answering her phone, they're out at the trails, there's something wrong.
What did you think had happened at that point?
We probably figured that maybe they fell or got hurt or something, maybe that they just couldn't, or lost her phone. You know, maybe they fell and the phone came out of her hand or something and couldn't answer. So we were just looking for them laying somewhere.
So you called the police at 5 o'clock?
It was a little after 5.
A little after 5, I called the police.
Okay.
We'd been searching as a family, couldn't find anything, and thought, okay, it's going to start getting dark. Let's get the police involved here. And they immediately came out in force, started walking the trails with us, looking for the girls.
And so by 6 o'clock, there's a search underway, right? You said a lot of people came out.
Yeah. Most of the town was out. People were out all over the streets of Delphi, flashlights, walking, just groups, and hundreds of people seemed to be coming out to help us look.
People split up and went through each finger of that trail system. We don't know which direction he came from or where he went.
Within an hour and 23 minutes of her last Snapchat post, you were there, looking around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hour and 23 minutes. You're there looking around. You don't see anybody. You don't see the guy, and he just disappears.
Well, actually, there was somebody there at 3:14. Libby's dad was there to pick them up.
At 3:14?
At 3:14. He called them first at 3:11 and said, I'm almost there, start heading back to the trailhead. And he got there at 3:14 and called them again and said, hey, I'm here. And she still didn't answer. So he started walking the trails.
Okay, that's 41 minutes.
Yes, at that time he started walking the trails. He called me at 3:30. So he had already been there for 16 minutes.
Here's the audio Libby captured. And they, in fact, were found down the hill.
Something put them in a position where they felt threatened for their lives.
Closed captioning provided by...
Y'all ready to have a good time?
Fall in love with Love and Marriage every Saturday night.
You need to hang out with us more. I just want you to win at this.
I love me a good, black, smart, educated man.
You don't have to thank me for hanging in there with you.
I'm happy we're a team and we have each other.
Sometimes the claws come out.
Don't do that.
Let's do that real quick.
Have you ever stepped out on me?
You gotta learn how to keep your mouth shut, bro.
What is going on?
We don't do anything regular or medium. Everything is big.
Give me more. Ready for more? I'm back. OWN's hit series returns to Huntsville for all new drama.
Come on.
Things are getting turned up.
There might be more to the story.
What?
You don't know what you're missing until you get it.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, all new Saturday, 8/7 Central. OWN has your weekend covered.
God, my heart is racing. Y'all ready to have a good time?
With premieres every Friday and Saturday.
You have not met him in 12 years?
Catch the new series, The Never Ever Mets, on Fridays.
No topic is off limits.
It's getting very intense.
And Saturdays, don't miss fresh episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I can't wait to see how this gonna go.
Me too.
Ooh, the tea just got piping hot.
Weekends, all new Friday and Saturday at 8/7 Central, only on OWN.
3 beach houses.
3 renovation teams.
Summer's hottest renovation competition returns. It's time to battle on the beach
And draw a line in the sand.
Battle on the Beach. Season premiere Monday, June 3rd at 9 on HGTV.
And now a sneak peek of the all-new series, The Never Ever Mets.
Starting tomorrow, you guys as guests or a family member will come here to meet your significant other.
Oh, Lord.
I enjoyed it. She enjoyed it.
He spoke to another woman in the house. Another woman?
You're getting hot right now.
Yeah, I'm f***ing upset.
The Never Ever Mets, all new Friday, 8/7 Central. And stream on Max.
Wait, y'all, you just got the jet skis. Somebody's coming!
Cool down.
What?
The women are getting very excited.
Who are these men and why are they so smoking hot?
Got it good.
Tonight.
I want to marry you. I know that I will never leave you, but I don't know that you'll never leave me.
I really don't want to get married with someone don't trust me.
Love in Paradise, all new tonight at 8 on TLC.
Hi, this is gonna be quick because I don't have much time.
Loving this energy, very Bourne Identity.
I have been waiting years for a second chance. This is it.
It's gonna be good!
Hacks, streaming exclusively on Max.
Well, I'm back with Anna, Mike, and Becky. Sister Kelsey is also here, and we're talking about the tragic and untimely deaths of two innocent young girls. And we're talking about 14-year-old Liberty German and her best friend, 13-year-old Abigail Williams. Well, here's the audio Libby captured. Let's listen to this carefully.
Downhill. 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 Downhill.
Now that's us repeating it so you can hear it. Do you hear it? Down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. It was only said once, but we're repeating it so you can hear it. Play that one more time if you can.
Downhill. 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 Downhill.
Okay. And they, in fact, were found down the hill.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
As chilling as it is to hear, that may have been him ordering them to get away where anybody could see them, to get down the hill. How would they respond to someone telling them, get down the hill? What level of threat would they have to be facing to comply? What would you predict from them?
Something else put them in a position of vulnerability, whatever that was. And I don't know because I wasn't there. You know what I mean? We don't have that piece of information. Was it a gun? Was it a knife? Was it some sort of weapon? In my opinion, or the girls, they'd say, "I'm not going down the hill. Are you crazy?" Something, in my opinion, put them in a position where they felt threatened for their lives.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because we've got two girls and one perpetrator, and these girls are grown enough to be, they're not little children, they're grown enough to, fight or run away. And I'm so fascinated by the fact that Liberty had, the wherewithal to take this picture and make this recording, and that neither of them left the other side. They stayed together.
Very strongly. That's exactly what it was. That should have the opportunity presented itself. They didn't. We don't know that it did, but we feel very strongly, and we've said that amongst ourselves and our families. The girls being how they were, cared for and looked after others, and it would have been very much their personality. Like we said to begin with, if the girls had gotten lost and were off the trail, the theory of stick together that's what they would have done. If one or the other had fallen and broken a leg, they would have stayed together until somebody found them. Neither of them had a good sense of direction either. We knew that they would have got lost even farther.
Were they found near a trail? I mean, there are trails, they say, that go all through here. Were they found near a trail? How far off of a trail?
No. Where they were was at the end of the trail system.
I see.
They were found within...
They're right up against a private property.
Right, yes. So, but they were found within half a mile of where they were at the end of the bridge there.
I see. When they found them, you heard them call up the hill, identifying questions, right?
Yeah.
What were they asking?
They asked whether or not, what shoes they were wearing, and I remember they asked, what color Libby's shoes were, and I knew, so I yelled down to them. And I told them, and they were Libby's shoes. And then they yelled again and said they'd found them.
Somebody knows who that person is, even though they can't see their face. The way his hands are in his pocket, the untucked shirt.
What is the theory about what is in the pocket here? Closed captioning provided by...
I'm wearing Libby's hat and sweater that she wore last year at the Christmas parade.
It's great to see the softball girls wanting to do something special for them, to remember them. They're not letting them be forgotten.
It's kind of thanking our community for all they've done for us.
A few years ago, Libby was in the parade as a baton twirler. You would have never thought that the next time she was in the parade would be this way, so it was a pretty bittersweet moment.
She is here with all of us today.
Superintendent Douglas Carter is here from the Indiana State Police. And when this happened and these girls went missing, law enforcement really sprung into action here and started searching for these girls immediately, correct?
They did.
And when you look at the area around there, what's the most likely way for this person to have gotten away? Would he have gotten away by car, by foot? What's the most likely way for him to have gotten away?
Dr. Phil, right now, it'd be speculative of us to try and figure out how he got there or where he went after this occurred. But I certainly hope in my lifetime I can look him in the eyes and ask him that same question.
You know, sometime between 2:07, when that last Snapchat post was put up, and by the time family members started showing up and everybody started showing up, there's a window in there between probably around 2:30 and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. This man had to be making his departure, and hopefully somebody think about that. Think about that time on February 13th, 2017, between 2:30 and 4 o'clock-ish. If you're anywhere in that vicinity, if you saw anything on foot, in a car, whatever, you want to know it, right?
I so appreciate you saying that way, because that is actually what happened afterwards. We started to canvass the city of Delphi and the areas on the same day that the crime occurred. And we stopped cars and asked them, and please tell us if you saw anything suspicious, anything at all. But please remember, this is not unlike any other rural community anywhere in America. It's not a typical a trailhead where there's a great big parking area where people come and go from a central place. It's accessible from multiple areas, multiple places in a very rural area.
Yeah.
So it does set it apart. It makes it a little bit different.
Yeah. Now, I grew up in small towns, I mean, like y'all are living in, and if somebody showed up that didn't belong, he stuck out like a sore thumb, because you knew everybody and everybody knew. And then if some transient showed up, they just stuck out like a sore thumb. Did anybody in town see this person before in the week leading up to, or any time?
We believe that the sketch that you see behind you was a face-to-face encounter with a citizen of Delphi.
Okay. So you think that actually somebody interacted with him, talked to him, saw him in a store, street, something, somewhere, somehow?
We do. The person we believe to be the killer on the High Bridge has been enhanced as best as it can be enhanced. That's him. What I believe is there's somebody that knows who that person is, even though they can't see their face. I think I could identify a family member if I couldn't see their face based upon the way they were standing, the way his hands are in his pocket, the untucked shirt, the gait, whatever that might be. And that's who we're looking for today.
Mm-hmm. What is the theory about what is in the pocket here, Superintendent? What do you suppose?
It would be speculative and subjective at best. There's no way for us to be able to tell. It does appear that there's a shirt tail out, though, doesn't it? And there's speculation about what that might be, even with that. But somebody knows who this person is that caused such evil in a wonderful place.
Well, this show is on in every city in America. I mean, we are on in every city in America. Look at this picture. I don't care if it's your brother, your father, your uncle, your cousin, your friend. Somebody recognizes this person. Call your friends right now and ask them to tune in right now to this show. Call everybody you know, tell them to tune in and look at this picture. We want to find this man. We don't know that he's the one that did anything wrong, but we damn sure know we want to talk to him. Coming up, police say witnesses helped them create a sketch of a man seen on the trails near where the girls took their final walk. Are there persons of interest who look eerily like this man? We'll talk about that when we come back.
This is the property that the memorial for our girls, Abby and Libby. We're going to put a park here, a local family here. The Horn family donated some property to make this dream to come true. In the woods that over there, there's a stream that runs through that, so there'll be a bridge to cross over that. There's going to be room for a few ball fields, softball fields. There's going to be an amphitheater in it. There's going to be a walking trail around it, soccer fields to be put out there. We want some shelter houses and picnic tables. The girls were taken from us way too early, and this is a way to give back, and we're going to keep their memory alive.
We're talking about the case of 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abigail Williams, who mysteriously vanished while walking a trail in their hometown of Delphi, Indiana. Now, less than a day later, they were found murdered by each other's side. Sadly, their killer is still on the loose, which means others are at risk. There's no question about it. Here's the photo of who is on the bridge, a picture that Liberty took of a man on a bridge. There is a drawing, a sketch that's been put together from interviews and witnesses. It does bear a resemblance in my mind to at least the body type and thickness of the individual that's in the photo on the bridge. So we're not without information, and somebody knows who this person is. Have you had any persons of interest, sir?
We have. I can't talk about those folks that might be identified as persons of interest right now, but everyone was a suspect until they're not. We've managed over 26,000 tips from around the country, and those tips continue to come in.
And you've been non-specific about how the actual crime was committed, the manner of death, correct?
Yes, yes.
And because as far as the media, that would be only known to the killer.
That is correct.
But you do know how it occurred, correct?
We do, yes,
okay.
we do.
Okay, coming up, the information you need to know if you know anything about this case. We'll be right back.
My sister Libby. She was always smart and outgoing. She loved going on adventures and doing fun things with her friends. We were a lot like typical sisters. We fought a lot, but then we always made up by like 20 minutes later.
Abigail was such a joy. She was so full of life and helpful to anyone and everyone. Every year around Christmas time, Gabby and I did shoe boxes for Operation Christmas Child, boxes that are sent to children that would not have Christmas without these gifts. Band-Aids, combs, and we're going to sponsor 100 boxes in Abby's honor for Abby's Angels.
Somebody put a motorcycle ride together to honor the girls. Thousands upon thousands rolling into Delphi. And the string of bikes was 20 miles long.
Made you realize that there are good people out there.
Tears were flowing the whole time I was riding. It was simply just overwhelming.
Abby was a very special, very giving young lady, and she would have done big things.
Libby may not be here physically. She'll always be in our hearts.
Closed captioning provided by... Well, I'm back with this heartbroken family here that has lost these two precious girls, the sister that dropped them off, Kelsey, and we're simply wanting to shine a very, very bright light on this case in hopes that it will trigger a recollection in somebody's mind. Somebody knows something somewhere. So once again, this is the picture that was taken by Liberty of the individual on the bridge. This is the sketch that was created of the individual based on witnesses. And now I want you to hear the voice of what we believe was the killer ordering these girls down the hill, so you can hear the voice.
Downhill. 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 Downhill.
Okay, now Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter has been talking to us here, and my question for Doug, is there anything that I haven't talked about or we haven't discussed that the public needs to know that can help them in helping you guys solve this crime?
I think to your audience, not just here, Dr. Phil, but around the world, this is Anywhere America. And these families in that community are absolutely extraordinary. And to see what human beings do when others are struggling has been the highlight of my lifetime. And what I need for people to do in America is trust who we are. And I ask that you please do that. There's lots of reasons not to, and I understand that. But to trust who we are, because as you have so well articulated, somebody talked to this killer yesterday. And one day I hope that we can all look in the eyes of Abby and Libby and they can say thank you for what you did. But more importantly, that our world's a better place. And that's my hope. That's my hope, and that's what I'm imploring and begging for folks to do.
Yeah.
To sit here with you is just the highest of honors.
Well, is there anything that either of the three of you want to add that you think would help people to respond? Any detail, any information, anything at all that we haven't talked about?
Well, like I said, try to take yourself back to February the 13th, that day, and look at this picture, because he would have looked that way at that point in time. Today, he may have grown a full beard, may have shaved his head, may have dyed his hair. We don't know.
Authorities urge anyone with information on Liberty and Abigail's deaths to call 844-459-5786. And that number, I mean, you may not remember it, 844-459-5786. If you don't have a pen, don't have a pencil to write down right now, it will be on drphil.com. It will be on my Facebook page. It will be big and bold. Now, please do not waste their time. Don't prank here and be an internet troll. But if you know something, then you need to say something. Sir, I cannot thank you enough. People say that I bleed blue because I stand for law enforcement every chance I get. And in addition to this case, just in general, thank you for what you do. Thank you for standing in the gap every day for the rest of us. Really appreciate that. I want to thank all of my guests. If you have any information about this case, please call the number provided. As I say, it will be posted on all of my social sites. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.